Good day, folks. My name is Christo Tarol. I'll be the facilitator or presenter, whatever you want to call that, of the upcoming VAT update seminar. And I'm here to convince you why you should be attending the event. But that shouldn't be too difficult. We live in an environment that's changing significantly and very quickly. And one of the factors impacting that is reduced taxes, but a need for higher income from a state perspective. From a VAT perspective, we've already seen the latest numbers from the fiscus showing that VAT has gone down. We've also seen a number of court cases where people were convicted of VAT fraud, because it is an area where you can commit fraud more easily than in other environments. So SARS is looking at this. They are focusing on VAT, and we find many instances in practice where both either SARS is wrong or the taxpayer is wrong, but the focus is there, and we need to be in a position to defend ourselves and understand what our legal standing is. So what are we going to look at in this session? Now, firstly, we're going to look at a number of court cases, just briefly indicating where is the thought processes going with regards to how SARS applies and interprets the law. And then we'll look at registration again, but only from a specific perspective. So what is compulsory registration? When are you deemed to have been registered? What about once-off transactions? We've seen many instances lately where, especially with the PPE sales, one sale of 10 million was made once. Should that person have been registered for VAT purposes? So we'll look at that. And we'll also look at foreign group companies, the new rules there. Then we'll look at specific categories of supplies that might be of interest. We'll look at the sale of shares in partnerships. We often get questions around that. We'll look at farming operations, certain issues that consistently come up with regards to farmers. We'll touch on zero-rated services, but only from the perspective of where the high-risk areas are, not just doing all of that. We'll look at the tax implications of tax compromise benefits, and we'll look at commercial accommodation. When it comes to input tax, we'll have a quick look at input tax on solar panels. What are the implications there? Then we'll look at asset for share transactions. We often look at the income tax implications, but we totally forget that there's also VAT implications. Then we'll touch on input tax on double cab light delivery vehicles. Where is that issue going? And then tax on due diligence expenses. When can that be claimed? This is an issue that often arises in practice. Then we'll look at tax invoices and credit notes, and we'll only look at when tax invoices may be corrected and how they must be corrected. So when is a credit note necessary? And if it's not necessary, what do you need to do if you want to change other items on that tax invoice? And finally, we'll look at penalties and interest. There's a lot of misunderstanding around when SARS must and may waive penalties. There's also a huge misunderstanding with regards to what is the impact of opinions issued by tax practitioners with regards to providing protection to taxpayers or clients acting upon that advice. So you'll see this is all going to be crushed into a 2-hour session. There's a lot of stuff in there, but we will give you comprehensive slides. So if you want to afterwards have a more closer look at some of the issues, you can also do that. But we certainly believe this will be worth your while, that spending the 2 hours with us. You can also ask questions online as we go along in those sessions, and we'll answer them immediately. That's always for the benefit of everybody. So hopefully we'll see you all there. In the interim, start reading your acts and reading your court cases, as that is an area which is highly neglected by tax practitioners. See you then.